Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just got finished recording my recap for the Sister Wives one-on-one sit down, and what I did with that is it was just the recap, exactly what went on. I didn't give my thoughts, and I didn't dive too much into what was talked about because there's so much there. I had so many things that I wanted to kind of talk about with each situation that they brought up, that I knew if I was to do that in that particular video, it would definitely be over an hour long. So I decided I was just going to do little videos after that to kind of talk about things that I picked up on. One thing that I'm picking up on in the sit down is it feels like Robyn is actually blaming Janelle and Christine for destroying their family culture, basically destroying their family once COVID, took place, that it was them not following these rules, Cody's rules and the guidelines that he set in place, that it was because they didn't do that ultimately their family culture was destroyed and their family was destroyed. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, early in the sit down, Cody talked about how he had one wife who immediately jumped on board with everything that he wanted. That wife being Robyn. He said, I had one wife who set the kids down and was like, this is what we're going to do to protect y'all and to protect dad. Dad's got to go from house to house to house. So we need to make sure we keep him safe and that he can stay safe. We got to stay at home to keep us safe. We got to stay at home to keep him safe. He's going to be the one traveling and everything to go see the other wives. And we're just going to have to stay at home. And her kids were fine with it. She was fine with it. And then he said that he had one wife who was kind of on board, that she was more on board, but her children weren't, and she could not get her kids on board. And then he had one wife who just didn't care, that Christine just did not care, that she would go do whatever she wanted. She didn't care about following their rules, their protocols. Now, when the host talked to Christine and she kind of asked Christine about this, Christine said, well, I was following CDC guidelines. I wasn't following Cody's guidelines, but I was taking precautions. I was trying to be safe. But according to Robyn, and the way that she made it sound on this sit down, is that she blames Janelle and Christine for disrupting their marriage and for destroying their family culture. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to tell you guys a few things that she said. And it's not that I didn't already feel like she probably thought that. But things that she said in the sit down definitely made me feel even more so that she's placing the blame, 100% on Janelle and Christine, but probably even more so on Christine. I feel like Robyn looks at this the same way that Cody looks at it. I guess like in polygamy marriages, like you're not supposed to leave. You're supposed to stick it out. But Christine's like, I'm not staying in a loveless marriage. There was one clip where Robyn, it was a teaser for part 2, where Robyn is saying, how can you leave when you haven't even given it a fair shot? Which I don't think that's fair to say for Christine, because Christine has been married to Cody for 25 years. And I think the past couple of years has been hard for them and been rough for them. And she's stuck it out and she's tried to make it work. And it was only after Cody told her there will be no intimacy. We can be together, we can stay together, we can be friends, it'll be a relationship like mine and Mary's. Christine had to look at that. Christine had to look and say, do I want a relationship with my husband like Mary has had? And Mary has had a relationship with Cody for 10 years that has had no emotional connection and no intimacy. So Christine had to look at that and think, do I want this? And she said, no, that's not what she wanted. But Robyn is placing the blame on Christine and Janelle. So on part 1 of the sit down, she broke down in tears, basically discussing her disappointment with the drama, surrounding the show. Robyn told the host that her experience with Christine and Janelle had been disturbing and extremely difficult during the COVID pandemic. She said, I understood what Cody was wanting to do, and I understood what Janelle and Christine were about, but at the same time, I was just like, why can't we mesh these two things together? She said, I just felt like this was the family culture that we have built, and we're destroying that. While she said we're destroying that, she knows that Cody thinks she's Mrs. Perfect. That Cody has her up on this throne of being the only wife who did everything that he asked. So while she may be saying, and we're destroying that, I highly doubt she blames herself at all for this. I think that's just kind of her way of not directly saying, I just feel like this was the family culture that we built and they're destroying this. If she was to come out to say, and they're destroying this, she knows the amount of heat that she would get. She knows that people would be in the comment section, on Reddit, everywhere, just kind of tearing her a new butthole. So she said, we're destroying that. But she knows that Cody doesn't say, Cody doesn't feel that way, because Cody literally said earlier in the interview that there was only one wife who was A-okay with the guidelines, the protocols, and jumped right on board, and that wife was Robyn. Robyn continued by saying, in the beginning, I thought this would go away, but how far are we into it, and it still hasn't stopped. Robyn become emotional again. The host had to get her a tissue because she started crying. She even said, I hate crying, but I think she probably says she hates crying because she probably knows that she's been coined Sobbin' Robyn. That's her nickname. People have given her the nickname Sobbin' Robyn because she seems to get emotional very easily. But she says that it's been painful, and it's painful because it felt like the family group and the unity and all that stuff that they created just got thrown out of the window over COVID. And she said that it really surprised her and shocked her, and that it has really been disturbing to her. Robyn then closed out by saying that she wants the family to come back from this, and that she is trying to lead in the efforts to do so, but she's not sure if they can. So like I said, in everything that she said here, while she may have thrown that we in there, she is saying, why couldn't Janelle and Christine, why couldn't they come together with Cody? But there was no coming together with Cody, and she knows that. Cody was very stern with the protocols. If you're not doing this, 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 and this, I'm not coming to your house. And even Janelle was like, I'm doing those things, but my boys aren't. And he's like, well, if your boys aren't doing those things, kick them out or I'm not coming. So it wasn't a matter of Cody, could have met them in the middle and they weren't willing for that to happen. It was that Cody wasn't going to do that. Cody wasn't going to budge, from the way that he thought things needed to go, because he felt so strong in those rules and those protocols that even when they tried, even when Christine would be like, well, we can do this, we can do that. Nope, 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 nope. Even when Janelle was like, I'm doing this, and, Garrison's in a separate bedroom, he rarely comes out. Nope, 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 nope. So there was no meeting in the middle. There was no meshing it. And I think ultimately Robyn absolutely is pointing the finger at, Janelle and Christine for the initial, them not being able to get together, the issues that first come about with COVID and how they just could not get together. They didn't get together for Thanksgiving, but then the family absolutely breaking up and their family culture being kind of destroyed. I think she's putting that on Christine. Christine is the one that left. Christine is the one that said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit 10 years in this family celebrating, anniversaries every year, but that being the only time that me and my husband go out is on our anniversary that don't even mean anything anymore. But I'll go out with him, once a year for that anniversary that means nothing. And I won't have any type of emotional, physical, intimate relationship with anyone. I'll just sit idly by. So she's not going to do that. And I can't say I blame her. There's no way I would do that. And I would love to see if Robyn would do that. I would love to see what Robyn would do. This will never happen, but just say if Cody, said like, oh, we're not going to be intimate no more. Would Robyn just sit on by, or would she say, no, I'm not going to do that? That's the choice that Christine made. And one thing that they always talk about is, making decisions for the family. What's best for the family? I think this is, maybe one time that Christine said, okay, well, maybe it's best for the family that I stick around, but for me, it's not. And mentally, I can't handle that. She made the decision to make a choice, or she made the decision to make a decision that was best for her. And now Robyn is basically blaming her for ruining the family culture. At the end of the day, they could just pick up and say, okay, she's doing what she feels is right for her. We support that, and we're going to continue with our family. And, you know, they have children together. Be respectful, be civil, but do not try to place the blame on Christine because she finally made a decision for herself. But that's what I took away from it, you guys. I took away her basically trying to lay the blame on Christine the same way that Cody did. Cody basically tried to say that the reason he could not be intimate with Christine anymore is because Christine had betrayed him. And the way that she betrayed him is because she had spoke to some of the other sister wives and some of the adult children saying that she didn't know if she could stay with Cody, that there were times that she felt like she may leave Cody. And he said that was the ultimate betrayal. She betrayed him, and ever since she betrayed him, he just, you know, couldn't see himself being intimate with her because she betrayed him. She's not being a good sister wife. So I can't be intimate with her. And I think that's crazy because that's one of the reasons they are good. That's one of the things that they talk about. That's one of their talking points, you know. Oh, the good thing about having sister wives is if you're having trouble with your husband, you can go talk to them and they understand. You never have to be alone. You never have to go through anything alone. You can talk to your sister wife. Now, one of the very things that they talk up so much is the reason that he feels betrayed by Christine. I find that ironic. So Cody and Robyn both seem to be placing the blame on Christine, even though she made the decision that she probably feels like she had to. You know, how depressed could someone get from being in a loveless marriage? You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you guys watched Sister Wives, the part 1 one-on-one sit down, leave me your thoughts. Tell me if you guys picked up on that as well, that it felt like Robyn was absolutely blaming Christine and Janelle for like the disruption, and then blaming Christine for destroying their family culture that they've built. Tell me if you guys felt the same thing, or if you were picking up on that as well. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you are not subscribed to this channel yet, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get to 50,000, so do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.